And every time I passed the back of the ship, I smelled something that smelled so good. It was the Hamburger Shack with the hamburger and the hot dogs. I'm like, oh, no, 3 miles. I'm going 3 miles. And then I kept going, and then the person jogging in front of me had stopped and got a burger and fries himself. I'm like, well, wait a minute. If he could do it, what? I can do it. I know, no. So I kept jogging, but that burger was on my mind. That burger was on my mind. And this is the part my wife does not know. I had 10 laps left, and at the time it made perfect sense where I stopped, got a burger and fries, and walked the remaining 10 laps while I ate the burger. Because I was going to break even, right? And that's what your prospects are doing. They get close, the rubber band stretches, and if you cut a stretched rubber band, what happens? It snaps. So we have to protect it. In fact, here are a few things that you'll see. There's denial, where they deny they have a problem. We see that in real estate. They deny they have foreclosures. They deny they have the problem, or they attack you. They demean the source. Or we see things like the reframe, or what they really meant. They change the meaning around. You ever had that happen before? They bring up things you've never talked about. Then we have the search, where they're looking for social validations, looking for testimonials. They need testimonials. They need testimonials. Or the rationalization, why they don't need to do it. They justify. Or we have the modify. Modify is like, you're right, I need to do this. It's important that you understand exactly. I'm running through an example here so you understand this. I'm kind of going deep here. But you have to understand, when people go in denial, they're in a blame mindset, and you have to know how to handle that. Everyone's persuaded in a different way. Because it's so important to go after that American dream in that business. I remember one client we had that we were coaching, her name was Sarah Angel, and she was so excited to start her own business. She had this talent of photographing young children. Everyone told her, you need to go into business, you need to go into business. So she quit her job, and she opened up a shop, and nobody came. You ever had that happen? Everyone's telling you to do it, and all of a sudden, and then people started coming, but they weren't coming back. They weren't recommending her friends. She was getting close to bankruptcy. And what we're finding is we just fine-tune a few things here and here, change this, change your offer, change your presentation, and she made $48,000 in 2 months just by fine-tuning a few things. Because one of her challenges was her offer was too good to be true. You ever had that happen before? And so sometimes you have to put some things in there so it's not, because if it's too good to be true, are people going to buy from you? No, so you have to be very careful. So let's say you've been on too many cruises. Let's go through each example of each one of these. And you're at the doctor's office, blood work, listening to your heart. You're sitting in there in the parchment paper, and the doctor comes in. Commit to me right now, no more fatty foods. So when a doctor says that to you, what do you say? All right, I commit to you. Now, part of discipline is you want to give as many commitments, as many yeses as you want during the persuasive presentation. That's why when an encyclopedia salesman knocks on your door and says, hi, do you live here? Yeah. Do you love your children? Yeah. They have these series of almost 40 questions that they ask, and by the time they get to number 40 that you've bought. So you're sitting there and you say, okay, no more burgers, no more fatty foods. So you're doing pretty well for a couple weeks. And then you've had a bad day at work. You don't care anymore. You come home. Nobody's home. You look in the fridge. Nothing's there. You open up the freezer. Light comes on. And you hear music. It's a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Oh, and it's calling your name. You reach for it. What happens to that rubber band? It stretches, doesn't it? In fact, what flavor is it? You're good at this. What flavor? Chunky Monkey? Cherry Garcia? Woo, yeah. So you reach for it, that rubber band stretches, and you go through the denial. That doctor doesn't know what he's talking about. Who is he to tell me I can't have ice cream? He's the Chunky Monkey. I heard he was a bad doctor anyway. And you eat the whole thing. You know what's going on. Or there's the reframe. You're reaching for it, Cherry Garcia. See, what the doctor really meant was burgers and fries. This is milk. This has calcium. What's the doctor want me to get? Osteoporosis? And then you eat the whole thing. That's what your prospects are doing. Or the search. There's this man in Indianapolis. Lost 27 pounds on the Ben & Jerry's diet. And that's all you need. Then the rationalization. If I do 20 push-ups for every bite I'll take, then I'll break even. And then the modify is, you know what, the doctor's right, no more fatty foods. That's your goal.